Hey guys, it's Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing and CarpetCleaningWebsites.net. Today I want to talk about the things that can hurt your Google rankings. When it comes to SEO, ranking on Google, I want to talk about what kind of stuff can hurt your rankings. That's what we're going to talk about today. I haven't made a video for quite a while now. I've been very busy, and it's time to address some issues, some questions that I keep seeing coming up over and over in the current SEO ranking environment. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the ability to rank in a city. So, as of October 2014, the last big Google update, a lot of local SEO was affected. Local meaning stuff that's based in your city, not big national or international websites, but local business websites such as your own. Okay. In the past, it was a completely different process to rank a Google Places listing, which is the maps section, and the organic listings, which is everything but the maps. Okay, so Google there's so much overlap right now that it's almost impossible to rank, and I say almost because there are exceptions, but it's almost impossible to rank whether organically or in the map section if you don't have a physical address in the city that you want to rank in. I know it's not fair for service businesses because we cover a large area. We cover many different cities, but that's the way it is. And the way Google's looking at it is, if we have 7+ carpet cleaners in one city, why would we go and pull somebody from another city to rank to compete with them? They look at it as that being not fair. Well, for the bigger multi-truck companies or the guys that want to be bigger and cover a bigger area, it becomes a problem. So what is the solution? What should you do about that? The number one thing you can do about that, the number one thing that people are doing, is they are actually getting a physical location, a physical address in the big city, in the big one that they want to rank in. So if you want to rank in Kansas City, a city of 1 million people, where most of the searches are coming from, but you live in a suburb, you're going to have to get a Kansas City address by whatever means possible. Not a UPS, not a P.O. box, not a mailbox, etc. You're going to have to get a physical address, whether it's commercial or whether it's residential. A lot of people, what are people doing right now to make that happen? Okay, they're borrowing friends, family members, addresses. I've even had somebody put an ad on Craigslist and say, I'll pay you some money if you let me use your address. People are getting very creative about it. I'm not suggesting you do that. All I'm saying is you need to find an address where Google can send a postcard and you can get that postcard with the code on it. Okay, that's what it takes if you want to rank in that city. Like I said, there's always exceptions. If you're ranking, or if you see a competitor ranking in a city that they're not supposed to, they're falling through the cracks. They're probably eventually going to, drop out of that area. But that's just the nature of SEO these days, and it kind of makes sense. If you are located in a city, do you want people from the surrounding areas coming in to compete with you? No, let them service their own areas. You service your own area. That's the way Google looks at it, and it kind of makes sense to a certain extent. It's like I said, though, for service businesses that want to cover a big area, it's just not realistic. Now, if you're going to be getting multiple physical locations in lots of different cities, the chances of that working, basically it'll work if you use commercial addresses, commercial physical locations. But if you're going to be using a bunch of residential addresses and Google does a manual review, like an actual person goes in there and reviews it, which they do, chances are you're eventually going to get shut down. So I don't recommend using residential addresses to hit lots of different suburbs, cities, areas, whatever. The biggest thing you can do right now is to get an address as close to the center of the big city, the biggest area that you can work in as possible. Okay, so just want to make sure that everybody understands that goes for organic, that goes for the Google My Business or Places or Maps or whatever you want to call it. That's just the way it is these days. I don't have control. Nobody has control over that except Google, and that's the way it is. So let's talk about, once you get that address, how to make sure you rank there. What kind of stuff can hurt you? What kind of stuff can negatively affect your rankings once you do get this address? Okay. Number one thing is inconsistent business name, addresses, and phone numbers. So let's use and I'm sorry, website domains. So let's take an example here. I'm making up a fake business name. If this is your business name, I apologize, but let's use John's Carpet Cleaning. So, and I've seen this. This is a real example, but I just changed the names. I've seen this actually many times. So, you go to their Google My Business page that they set up or had somebody set up, and their business name is John's Carpet Cleaning. Okay? Then you go over to their Yelp page, and it's John's Carpet Cleaning and Restoration. That's a different business name in Google's eyes. And then you go over to their Facebook page, and it's John's Carpet Care. Okay, those are 3 different business names, all associated with probably the same phone number, hopefully the same address. Maybe one of the addresses is different because they moved and they forgot to change their Yelp page, but they remembered on their Google and they remembered on their Facebook. But I think you guys are getting the point. You want to make sure that all of your information is consistent. So what I recommend you do is you set up your Google page, you put your business name, you decide the actual business name you want, whether it's the one that's registered with the state or whatever. You put that in your Google, and then you put the phone number, one phone number. Then you put the address, the physical address in the city that you want to rank in, and then you put your website there. And then there's all the other stuff, the business hours and pictures and all that. But these 4 things are what you really want to focus on. Once you get those exactly the way you want it, then go to every single place that you possibly could be listed on the internet and match it all up. Now, how do you find out where you're listed on the internet? Well, I've got you can either go and just kind of search around Google and try to find it. Search your phone number, search your business name, search your address, every variation possible that you can think of. Or you can go to my website, and if you click on, it's carpetcleaningwebsites.net, and you click on this at the top here, it'll say free scan your business. Click on that. It'll take you to this page here. You put in your business name, address, city, state, zip, phone number, and it'll go out there and try to find every instance possible, at least in all the major directories, and kind of give you an idea of how consistent everything is. And if it is consistent, then you're looking good. If it's not, you need to get all that stuff cleaned up. Whether you do it yourself or you pay somebody else to do it, that's one of the biggest things we do with SEO right now. Is especially when a new client comes to us, we spend at least the first month or 2 just cleaning stuff up. So the name of the game is clean, consistent information across the internet. Okay, I just want to make sure we get that. I want to make sure you guys understand that 100%. Okay. Now, another big issue I've been seeing happening with clients and people that are just calling up with questions is they will sign up with these big SEO companies. There's these big SEO companies out there. I'm not going to name names, but what they do is they will use your business name, they will use your address, but they will use their own tracking phone number, which they make it sound great because the tracking phone number will give you all these statistics and you can see what's coming from where and this and that. What they don't tell you, though, is that when you stop using them, that phone number stays on the internet, but instead of going to you, it goes to your competitors or whoever's paying them at the time. It's very unethical, in my opinion, the way that they do this. And the same thing with the website. They give you a free website, but when you stop paying them, that website goes to your competitor, even though it's listed under your business name. So if somebody searches your business name and they find you in the yellowpages.com or whatever directory they listed you on, somebody calls that number, they're going to get your competitor. If they click on the website, they're going to get your competitor's website and your competitor's information. Okay? So they really hold you hostage. It's not a good long-term investment. It may work temporarily if you don't have any information out there, but think about it. If they go out and they start putting your business name and address with their phone number and their website, think about what's going to happen if you already have stuff out there. If you're a brand new business, it doesn't matter. Okay, then it's fine. But if you're a business that's been around for a while, you've already got a presence on the internet, and they do this, all of a sudden your information is consistent. Some websites have your real phone number, some have their tracking phone number, some have your real website, some have their website.